If you're a stay-at-home mom, hey, I salute you. I was a stay-at-home mom. I actually have three adult children who are all married, living healthy, productive lives, and I have seven grandchildren. But I stayed at home with my children, raising them as long as I possibly could. And I just want to share some insights, some tips, some strategies for you stay-at-home moms to make life easier, maybe save a little money, and maybe earn a little money on the side. So, because I value the role that you play in your family, in the community, your immediate community, and the community at large, I want to, whatever I can do to share information or insights with you, then that's what I'm going to do. All right? So, a tip or strategy, a hack, if you want to call it that, is instead of cooking every single day, cooking every single day, how about batching? Batching is where you cook uh, maybe twice a week. Take a considerable amount of time and just cook. Prepare all your meals and get them out the way so you're not cooking every single day. Put them in the freezer. I'll put something in the freezer in a minute. They have freezer bags. They have all kind of containers that you can use now. Of course, they've always had them, but you can put food in the freezer. And then also with your little ones, you can actually put uh, mini size food in the freezer. So when you're taking it out, if it's specifically for your little ones, you're not taking out a whole big amount of food and then you can't keep putting it back in the refrigerator, so you want to have small amounts for your little ones. So batching your food, it can save you time, cut down on daily stresses of what am I going to cook now? I'm looking at my little cheat sheet. And it also lowers food waste where you just, made a bunch of food for that day and wasted it. So if you freeze it, then you can take it out as needed in various portions as well. So here's another idea. My grandchildren, I'm going to just share something personal with you. I live we live in the same neighborhood, and I went by their house today, and there was this huge box out front. And I said to my son-in-law, I said, "Whose box is this?" He said, "Oh, my mom and my dad sent this to." I have two grandchildren who live right, there. Uh, I live in Los Angeles, and they're right up the street. And he said, "Oh, my mom and dad, they're always sending stuff." But this was this huge box. My grandson, of course, he's 7 years old, and my granddaughter's 3. Oh, they couldn't wait to open this box. They started opening the box, and there was toys and this and coloring books and clothes and. And I said to my son-in-law, I said, "I want your parents to be my parents because they're so beautifully generous and so loving." So my point is, children now, and my grandson, he had a birthday party and he got all these toys, and my granddaughter just had a birthday party and she gets toys. So what I'm suggesting is do a toy rotation. So you don't have all the toys out at one time. I mean, all the toys they ever own. And then what happens is they get all mixed up and missing parts and batteries are falling out of the toys. But it depends on how many toys they have. You might want to just take out half and put the other half up and then rotate in terms of what's available to them. If they have a ton of toys, they may only need a fourth amount of toys. But what I really like about this is you're not ending up with a lot of missing pieces and just a toy chest full of missing parts and loose pieces to puzzles and all of that. But this helps you to also keep the toys, help to keep the toys really organized and contained and together. So it's not, I look at in my grandchildren's room and I'm like, where does this go to? What does this go to? Because it's a lot of loose pieces and a lot of toys out at one time. The parents do put up some of the toys, but a lot of them are out and it's too late for some of them because you'll never be able to figure out what goes with what. So toy rotation, it helps to keep clutter down. It helps mom to de-stress. And then, when you have your children to help clean up, everybody clean up. You know that song? everybody do their share. So when it's time for them to do their share, the children don't feel overwhelmed when they look around and see every single toy they ever own on the floor. So toy rotation. So think about that. So you have a toy rotation system. All right, another one is if you cash in, you can. This is where you can make a little bit of money. If you have gently used clothes or next to new or new clothes that the child never wore or barely wore, there are places that will actually you can actually sell those clothes. They may give you some money. You're not going to make a whole lot of money, but you can actually. I don't want to give you names, but what you can do is Google, of course, and then find stores that are. Some stores are just specifically for children recyclables, and there's strollers and all sorts of children's clothes, of course, gently used, as I said, and new. And oftentimes you can get, you can make money by actually selling those gently used clothes or whatever. Some of them are actually walk-in stores, and some of them are actually you can go online and find out, the details of how you might sell online. I guess you take pictures or whatever. So you can actually Google that because I know that's available to you. Another hack that I want to share with you to make life easier for you as a wonderful stay-at-home mom is while your children are taking a nap, or you know that every day between 12 and 2 they're going to take a nap, be prepared to have some me time, whatever it is that you had planned to do. So what happens? So you don't get in the middle of, if they have a lot of children have certain times when they take naps, right? You might have a certain time when they take a nap from 12 to 2 or whatever. And so you don't want to wait until it's like, almost time for them to wake up, and then you start scrambling around trying to do whatever you wanted to do while they were napping, or you want a little me time to do whatever you want to do. And then here they are waking up, and then that's when that's when you start feeling stressed or you feel anxious. Wow, I haven't had any time to do what I had planned to do. So that requires better planning. So as soon as they close their little eyes, you want to be ready to do whatever it is for the allotted amount of time they take their nap, so you get the full amount of time that they're taking their nap, and you don't feel stressed out because you're feeling, now I have no time for myself. So you want to definitely be ready to do whatever it is that you need to do once they take their nap. So when they do wake up from their nap, or right before, you're going to have to start wrapping it up, and you don't feel anxious and stressed out because you're feeling again like you have no time for yourself. And we don't want that. We want stay-at-home moms to find ways, carve out ways to make time for themselves. And speaking of that, on my YouTube channel, I have a number of videos that are specifically for stay-at-home moms. And some of the videos are making money while you're staying at home. And I did quite a bit of research for those particular videos, so be sure and check those out. And also, I have some videos where they're hacks for stay-at-home moms to help to de-stress, help to have some effective household management, to be able to save money and make money, and just have it so when you're staying at home as a stay-at-home mom, you're not pulling your hair out. You're able to have some enjoyable, rewarding moments. And I've created videos for you, so be sure and check them out. All right, so Amazon Subscribe and Save. Amazon Subscribe and Save. Now, I admit I'm on Amazon for lots. I shop on Amazon quite a bit. And a lot of the merchants will ask me, do I want to subscribe? And if I subscribe, that means I'm going to get a monthly shipment. Or I can indicate, well, send it every 3 months, every 2 months, every 1 month. And by subscribing, I get a discount. So as a mom with your children, staying at home with your children, saving time, energy, de-stressing, just having a more effective time management, suggests that you subscribe. So now you got your diapers, you got your snacks, you got your wipes coming to your door, and you're not out shopping around, unless you just want to go in the stores and shop with the little ones, but you have this coming to your door on a monthly basis, or however much you want it delivered, whatever amount of time you agree on. And then by you subscribing, you're actually going to save money. Whenever you subscribe, merchants will always say, well, you will save up to 15%. That's a nice little chunk of change. And so you're not worried about, running out of anything, because it's always going to be at your door. And believe me, that will save you a lot of headache, a lot of stress, a lot of lost time, because, now you don't have this and you don't have that. But if you have it coming to your door on a monthly basis or whatever time you set up, hey, that's a winner right there. That's a winner. So I wanted to share these with you. My name is Maria. Please leave me a comment and subscribe. Like I said, I have other videos that are specifically for stay-at-home moms. And leave me a comment. Let me know what tips you'd like to share, or any challenges that you have. I actually have my teaching credential, adult school teaching credentials. I have my master's in education, but I also have my adult school teaching credential, and one of the credentials is in parent education. One of the subject credential is in parent education. So this is one of my loves, my passion in terms of parent education and sharing information with stay-at-home moms. All right, so leave me a comment, uh, like, and check out my other videos. All right, I'm going to say bye-bye for now. Thanks for checking me out. See you next time.